The latter-day restoration of the Lord's Church upon the earth began in such a small and humble way. A young boy in a silent grove of trees was given a single seed of truth to cultivate, joined by family and friends and others who believed on his word and saw that it was good. That single seed was planted deep in the hearts of the early saints. Gospel truth has traveled down through the branches of many family trees to nourish lifetime members and converts alike, strengthened, sustained, and supported by missionaries and dedicated members committed to carrying the gospel message to the far corners of the earth. That is how the church came to Fallbrook. Today we take a look at the church's roots in San Diego County, and more specifically in Fallbrook. At my roots and yours, they were planted deeply, long ago, that we might enjoy today the strength and vigor of our Fallbrook LDS family tree. Together we honor and remember those who planted this tree.
Welcome there. It's Wallace and Frances Gray. We came to visit with you on this momentous occasion to celebrate the 50th anniversary of the organization of the Fallbrook Ward and also of the Palomar State. We're living in Minnetonka, Minnesota, and our grandson Michael is doing the video for us. We're enjoying a picnic in a nearby park with Michael and our three great-grandchildren and his wife.
The first branch of the church in San Diego was officially organized in the home of Amanda Jewell on June 2, 1898. It became the founding unit in San Diego County.
I've been thinking back, not so much in the future, but behind the ones that came before us. When we came to Escondido, we felt like we were pioneers, but actually there were many people who pioneered before we did.
In 1919, Joseph W. McMurrin was called as president of the California Mission. In 1921, the first missionaries were sent to open up the area around Escondido. One of these young missionaries was Elder Sharp Woodruff Daines.
There was a man, 90-year-old man, who was alive and had been a missionary in the 20s in this area and had hitchhiked all over the area of our Palomar State. It was so exciting to talk to him.
On October 30th, 1921, Elder Daines and two companions had their first look at Escondido. Elder Daines and his companions tracked it out primarily on foot, but hitching rides when possible, not only Escondido, but the surrounding areas of Ramona, Vista, Fallbrook, Julian, Santa Isabel, Valley Center, Oceanside, Del Mar, and Cardiff. In 1928, the San Diego branch of the California Mission was divided into 4 units, but it wasn't until June of 1939 that the San Diego district of the California Mission was organized. The first 3 branches organized in northern San Diego County were part of that district. The first recorded meeting held in Escondido was on April 24, 1938. A few months later, a branch was organized there, but in 1940, missionaries were removed from the area, probably because of a lack of missionaries in service at the time, and the branch was closed down sometime in 1942. In the meantime, a branch had been established in Carlsbad. When the Escondido branch was reorganized on July 27, 1942, young Elder Hugh J. Sorensen was one of the missionaries who was assigned to help organize and administrate there. Another branch was organized in Laguna Beach. The South Coast District of the California Mission was organized in 1943 and included the branches of Escondido and Carlsbad in the northern San Diego County and Laguna Beach in Orange County. This was a time of vigorous growth for the church in the area, and other branches were organized in the nearby communities of Fallbrook, San Diego, Vista, Ramona, and Poway. In 1941, Lyndon and Velma Peterson moved their family to Fallbrook. Active members of the church, they longed for association with other members and occasionally traveled to Escondido, Vista, and Oceanside to meet with the small groups there. In the summer of 1942, two young missionaries, Elders Avril A. Pugmire and Melvin A. Mertlich, began holding Sunday school meetings in the little Peterson home on the hill. The elders lived in a small trailer on the Peterson property. That Sunday school operated under the direction of elders until April 21, 1944, when Lyndon Peterson was called to be the Sunday school superintendent by Mission President Elijah Allen. The first meeting of the newly organized Sunday school under the direction of Superintendent Peterson was held on May 7, 1944, in the Petersons' home. There were 10 people in attendance that day. In September of 1946, the Relief Society was organized, and Velma became the first Relief Society president in Fallbrook. She was blessed with a warm and compassionate nature, a strong testimony, and an abundance of energy and willingness to do the Lord's work. She was a great organizer and a natural-born leader. The Relief Society flourished with members and non-members attending regularly. A branch was formally organized in March of 1947. By May that same year, 2 other LDS families had moved to town, and the branch president suddenly had new counselors. As the membership swelled, the fledgling branch outgrew the Peterson home, and they became very creative about meeting houses. During this formative period, a handful of key individuals, each of them instrumental in the building of a new chapel for the saints, joined the Fallbrook group. Lloyd East, an inactive member of the church, moved to Fallbrook in 1948 with his non-member wife, Helen. She began being taught by the missionaries, and after she was baptized, the couple began to attend sacrament meetings at the Oddfellows Hall. Right around the same time, a gentleman named Howard Woodrow and his wife Lillian heard about the church by listening to a radio broadcast. They were subsequently taught by local missionaries and baptized in 1949. During that year, Francis Hugh Wilcox and his wife Fawn moved into town, and there were a number of strong convert baptisms. Although there were fewer than 40 members in the branch, they collectively envisioned a bright future for the church in Fallbrook. They were bound together in love and in purpose. Fundraising began for a new chapel in 1950, and the Relief Society kicked it off with a dinner advertised to the public at large and other branches in the district. The event was a grand success. This was a galvanizing time for the saints in Fallbrook. Reading from President Wallace Gray's book, They Brought Their Faith, one can begin to appreciate the sacrifices that were made by these pioneering members of the Fallbrook area. Even as they earned money to build their envisioned chapel, an adequate home was needed for their weekly activities, so they purchased the former American Legion Hall on North Main Street. In 1953, the Relief Society, eager to make their own contribution to the building effort, began to serve meals for a variety of local organizations, some of them on a weekly basis. Velma planned menus, shopped, and often baked bread, cookies, and cakes at home for the fundraisers. Together, she and her Relief Society sisters catered these events. Their work was a sociable time for them, and together they became better cooks, better organizers, and fast friends. I believe that Wallace Gray had these sisters and others like them in mind when he wrote these words. On July 31, 1955, the long-awaited groundbreaking for the new chapel took place. Men, women, and even children worked together under the direction of branch president Lloyd East. Members contributed countless hours of their time and skills. It was a blessed season of sacrifice for everyone. As branch members worked together to build that chapel, strength and love for one another grew, as did dedication to the church and the gospel.
Claire and I remember going there and working and having delicious lunch there. One of the things we had was Jenny baked stew, and we still have the recipe for that.
By the time the chapel was dedicated in 1958, there were 178 members in the Fallbrook branch. The dedication of the building was a fitting symbol for the dedication of the saints that had made it possible. At that meeting, Elder LeGrand Richards paid tribute to the many sacrifices made by the members of the branch. He quoted President Heber J. Grant. History was made in that chapel on College Street when, before a congregation of nearly 1,000 members of the South Coast District, Elder Marion G. Romney of the Council of the 12 stood at the pulpit and proposed that the South Coast District be dissolved and replaced by the Palomar Stake. Fallbrook Ward was born that day.